Hi, this is your instructor, Jen Travers, just trying to guide you through or help to answer some of your questions. I haven't got some specific questions that you want me to answer, but I can always do it like this. Or we can have a conversation by chat or whatever you want to do. So I'm on the basic course homepage, and here I can see that I've got an assignment due today. And these are all the things that you sort of need to know. You can go right into your course here as well, or click on content. So I'm going to click here because I know that you are working through Unit 1, Assignment 1. So what this is Unit 1 is the overview into the social sciences. There's no prerequisite for this course. So some people have never taken sociology, anthropology, or psychology, and those are parts of how this is examined. It's not just a study of the family. So it's important we go through that. So Unit 1 has 4 activities in it that you need to complete assignments for. So we want to start with Unit 1, Activity 1. Here in the content is like your textbook, and the assignment are the assignments that you need to complete, and they all have due dates on them. So I'm just going to go through what the assignments are and then sort of show you how I would go through it. I'd want to see what the assignments are so that what I'm trying to read in the content. Assignment number 1 that you'll hand in is creating like a crossword or a search word with 5 words that you find out of the content for activity 1. There's not underlined words, there's not a whole lot in there. You just want to pick 5 words that are sort of term words, and that you create, if you create a crossword, that you create like a definition for, and they have to fill in the word or search a word or whatever it may be, right? So you're going to do that in each of the activities, but this is just for the content for activity 1. The second one, which maybe is where you're facing a lot of confusion, and hopefully I'll be able to answer some questions, is an opinion essay. It's like a 5-paragraph essay based on answering this question or responding to this statement. And then you have a bunch of steps that you can and should go through during that process, and the information comes from the content, so that would be important to do. So here's the statement, and using the information that we'll get in content that's identified here, what do we know about answering this, right? So we look through the different steps. You can post in the discussion if you have ideas or questions, whatever it may be, and I can respond to those. But all of these are steps in completing it and then handing it into the Dropbox. The third assignment was in the content page, your journal, which is like a workbook or a work assignment, was to create your own definition for the family. And what I wanted people to see was other people's definition and how they can be different or the same. So this is where people were posting their definitions, right? So this is what is family. And so they identified a few things that were their family. So you can read through. You don't have to necessarily participate in this, but it helps you see what other people are doing. It helps you connect with the material that it's asking you for. So that's outlined in the content. The assignment for this was reading through all of those, write a reflection on how complex defining the family is. A fully developed paragraph 2, what did you learn about the family through Unit 1, Activity 1? So now that we know what the assignments are, we can go to the content. Content is your textbook and your workbook. So because you don't have a class with a teacher in front of you, this is what this is. Journals are your binder or your work pages, and this information is your course content, so your textbook. Sometimes it has links, it tells you a number of different things. So within the journal, if you see this means that there's something that you should stop and examine. So this one is, read this article. The question is, why are families important? So jotting down in your notes, why are families important? Question, how would you define the family? And then post your definition of the family here. So here below we have information about the family. So in Statistics Canada, it defined it 3 different times in different years, and it got a little bit more complex as the years went on. So your journal or your worksheet is to, using a three-way Venn diagram, identify how it was similar and different. So when you see little things like that, it means it's a link. So this is what a Venn diagram looks like, right? A Venn diagram compares differences, and then these are similarities. So if we were to do this for the definitions, here, here, and here would be the different years and how they're different, and in here are the similarities. It's just a worksheet to help you guide your understanding. So there's lots of different links, and then it has more. How does your understanding of the family compare to Vanier Institute? Filling in a worksheet, questions. These are all meant to help you figure out what the family is. So here we see it again. So in the beginning, you created a definition for the family. Here, it's saying, okay, so having read this information, is it any different? So paste in what your definition of the family is. So then we have lots of more information, right? So another journal, some questions to think about. And here's information about how to write a position essay, right? It has different stages, whatever it may be, okay? So you can click on there's not necessarily activities, it's just information. So now, having read all that information, let's go back to our assignments, okay? So I need to find 5 words. So if I was to go back here, I'm going to look maybe Statistics Canada, 1, Vanier Institute of the Family, 2, Socialization, 3, Developmental Stages, 4, and let's pick a random word, Position Paper, because that came from the other content. There it is. I've got my 5 words that I'm choosing. So I'm going to create an assignment with that. So I'm going to create a Word game, and then I'm going to submit it to the Dropbox. So it's got to be in PDF or Word or something where you can actually put it in the Dropbox. Yours will look a little bit different, and it'll say put it in the Dropbox. So that way you know that that assignment is handed in. The second one, which is where some people had a lot of questions, is, so looking at this particular statement, what I was suggesting is, do you agree or disagree with what he's saying? And some people said, well, I don't know what he's saying, so how do I agree or disagree? So look it up and try and figure out what he's saying. Or when it comes to things that you're looking in here, family life is traditional. Well, what does a family traditional or a traditional family mean? It's just that things don't turn out the way they were supposed to. So people want tradition, but that's not often what's happening. So what do your definitions of the family tell you? Different family forms, or even the Vanier Institute family functions. What does that tell you about the traditional family, but just that things don't turn out the way they were supposed to? Is it because there's so many variations of what the family is that maybe it's about doing the family functions and not just about what they look like? Is that what makes a family, etc.? So it has your steps here. Dissect what he's saying, brainstorm whether you agree or disagree, and reasons why you agree or disagree. Use some research. So look out at Statistics Canada. You even have a bunch of links down here that they still should work. I've tried them out a few times. They still should work. You've got a few other places that you can look for information. Post what you think, and then start writing your essay as to what's your thesis, do you agree or disagree, and why do you agree or disagree? What's some information you can find about traditional families and how they've changed, or is it a new family or a new family form? Does it work? So these are all things that you need to, the steps are there. You have the content that could help you maybe sort that information out. You also have to do a bit of research and try and figure it out. You're online anyway, so you might as well Google some stuff and see what you can find out. And the last one is, so having read through the Padlet and posted on it, write a paragraph. What did you learn about what the family is, right? So you can put that in Google Doc and save it as a PDF and then put it in the Dropbox or as a Word document, whatever it may be. So the Dropboxes are linked right to the assignment. So when you're done that assignment, your reflective paragraph, you just hit submit and it will go in there. Now I'm the instructor, so I can see everybody that's handed those in. So that's basically a brief introduction, a 10-minute introduction into getting in Unit 1, Activity 1. If there's something that hasn't been answered in this, then please let me know. If it's not about navigating through all of this, is it the content that's confusing? Please help me figure out the best way to help you, okay? So send me an email either in or out of D2L. You just click the button right up there, send me an email, and let me know what's going on so that I can do my best to help you. All right,